Hi everyone, I'm Douglas Rear, and that's my crowd. Alright, today I'm doing my demonstration speech over making sure that the tractor is ready to go for the day. This is our biggest tractor on the farm. It's our Allis-Chalmers 8070. So first I'm going to start by checking the oil. So you pull out the dipstick and check the level on it once, and it says full. I then wipe it off and put it back in. And we're going to check it a second time for a more accurate reading, just to ensure that it was indeed full. And again, it is at the full level. The reason that we wipe the oil off both times when we put it back in is just in case there's any dirt that gets on the oil or on the dipstick, that it doesn't get into the oil system and ruin something in the engine. Next, I checked the fuel. Most of you guys probably just use the fuel gauge in your car. In these tractors, we want to double check by looking in the tank. Right here's the fuel tank. So I like to make sure that a tank is at least 3/4 full before I head to a field, just so I don't have to come back to the barn to fuel up halfway through a field. This tank looks pretty good. It's right there. That's pretty full. Just make sure it's full before you go with fresh, clean fuel. Next, we're going to take the grease gun and go over to find any grease zerks on the tractor. It's pretty simple. There's some grease zerks throughout on the moving parts. We pack them with grease to make sure that they're lubricated and keep moving good. A little bit of grease can save you a lot of money in the long run. If you don't grease the parts, they can be metal on metal and wear out a lot quicker, and that can cost you a lot of money. So you just find the grease zerk and put it in the end of the hose on the grease gun. And give it a little grease to make sure that the parts are good and lubricated. I always wipe off the end of the grease gun to make sure that there's no dirt in there for the next time I go to use it. The next important part to do is to go around and check all of the tires pressure. So we're going to use this tire pressure gauge, and just like on your car, there's a valve stem on the tire, and you just do a quick hit and read the PSI. PSI stands for pounds per square inch. Again, I like to do it a second time just to make sure I got an accurate reading. And it is at 15 PSI. So next we're going to go around to the back of the tractor to look at everything back here. This is where we hook up all of the equipment on the hitch, and these are hydraulic hoses that help lift it, fold it, and do whatever we need on the piece of equipment. So there's two places to check the hydraulic oil level back here. And let me grab my rag real quick. So we're going to check this dipstick, and it looks pretty full to me. And I'm going to check it a second time again just to ensure that it is full. And again, it is full. The other place on here that we want to look is there's two little sight glasses back in here in a little cubby hole. Check that. It runs the transmission and the rear end on the tractor. Make sure everything stays lubricated in there and moving well. And again, there, both of the sight glasses are full. And so the last part that we're going to look over is the equipment itself. So I first like to look at, these are called disc plates. This is our disc that we use to rip up the field. Just make sure that there's no broken disc, and then we go through and we would grease the zerks on all of the discs and make sure that they turn and are all going to move good. So that's my demonstration speech, and thank you for coming.